Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Sheep Station Cook asked me about pyrite or fool's gold and flint and strikers. Can you spark on it? Most assuredly. That's a pyrite cube that I've got in my collection that I've bought, and you can most assuredly spark on it. It sparks quite well, even though it is very soft, and you can develop embers with them. It's not the most conductive thing because they're funny shapes. There we go. One strike catch. As I said, they spark very well, even though it is a very soft material. There's other stuff called macerite, that is a pyrite as well, that very old percussion people used was with flint. They had macerite and flint, and they would drive sparks on it. I've got some macerite, but I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. But this stuff, you can get fool's gold or pyrite and get it to spark without a problem. It sparks very well. These cubes are expensive to buy. I don't know how much I paid for that. I think I paid about $60 for that cube. They grow all in cubes and all funny shapes, but mainly in cubes, and they just grow up in there. You can get really big ones, little ones. That's just in my personal collection. I wanted a cube for my collection, but you certainly can get it to spark. There are different versions of pyrite and fool's gold. I have got one lot of fool's gold that I couldn't get to spark, but most of the time fool's gold will spark. As you saw, it does spark reasonably well. It's got those starbursts mainly, which I see because of the pyrite. It actually seems to be more pyrophoric than most flint. It's actually not flint, because I think this adds more to it. So I think there's more going on to it than just the striker sparking, because that's on flint. Although no, it's not. It's actually the Wiltshire file that's doing those bursts. But yeah, certainly fool's gold or pyrite, iron pyrite, will spark. Going into macerite, but it is a lot cooler spark. You will find very difficult to get a spark to catch. You will barely see the sparks. They're a dull red, and you're probably better off using like the likes of ember fluff down than driving sparks down onto it, or chaga, again driving sparks down onto it. But if you can get your hands on pyrite cubes like that, you can get them to spark, not a problem. As you saw, I got a char cloth to ember up without a drama. Yeah, it is viable, and yeah, not a problem at all. The only going down the rabbit hole with pyrites, it is quite an advanced one as far as I can tell, because of the difficulty level of it. So, and to buy macerite, it's hideously expensive. Yeah, just to get a small node of macerite, you're looking at $100. I have got a small node of macerite. I haven't broken it open. And I've got a larger one that is not very good quality. So yeah, that's to get one that's reasonably sized, like 5 centimeters across. You could pay $200 for something like that size. And the bigger they are, the better it is, because it gives you more chance of driving sparks. So, and I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole with it. So yeah. But you asked a question about it, and yeah, certainly you can get pyrite to spark, especially these cubes. And if you can get your hands on a reasonable size cube, they're not that expensive to buy. Even the smaller ones, you don't have to go that big, but you can get a smaller one for $10 or $20, and you'll get sparks off them, not a problem at all. But yeah, I don't really like driving sparks off that one because that's in my personal collection. But yeah, it was already pretty banged up anyway, so yeah, I don't mind that much. I only do demonstrations on it occasionally, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, certainly viable. Another viable rock. I used to say that there wasn't many rocks around that you could get to do it, and I was very naive. Yeah, there are so many rocks around, in the quartz, ranging from 5.5 Mohs all the way up to 10. You'll never get into 10. That's diamonds. Yeah, to buy a diamond, and I don't think it fractures properly anyway. But you're looking usually about 5.5 to about 9 into the burls. Yeah, and the usual range is about 5.5 to about 8 or 9, and that sweet spot's 7 to about 8, and once you get into that 7 to 8 range, it's fantastic. Yeah, that's where all your quartzites and quartz and all that stuff, all that wonderful bits and pieces are for this stuff. Anyway, pyrite and strikers. Thanks for watching.